TransIT overview here of what's new. The virtual user group I'll be presenting today, filling in for Patty. So let's get started. Our agenda for today is viewing global content improvements, also TransIT testing updates, TransIT testing plans updates, tip of the month, and we also have a very exciting announcement for everyone at the end. So first off, we have global content improvements, which makes it easier for clients to not only find, but also view and then select and use, different tasks and workflows, which are part of our global content. The testing updates, the script objectives and script highlights now support rich text formatting. All of this stuff, once we go through the slides, I'll be showing to you guys so you can see for yourself. We changed the separator between vendor, product, application, function on scenario steps. And the vendor search have been changed from a dash to an equals and a greater symbol. The dash was just causing some issues, so the equal and greater than symbol are, just a better way of showing the differentiator between the vendor, product, application, and function. We changed the day 0 to show as day 0 rather than just blank under the test steps. So I will get to show you guys that as well. So plans is, one of our great tools that we offer. There's been a lot of improvements over the last weeks and months with plans, thanks to, our client input and our team's input. Also our great developer as well. So the right-click custom columns plan header we used to have to go from a right-click custom column or columns and then custom columns. Now we can just click it straight from that menu, the right-click menu. There is now edit inline capabilities for many of the fields once you open up your custom columns page. The added a new user setting that's unselected by default to allow you to use your control, copy, control, paste, all those type of functions. The right-click drop-down only appears from columns that have been defined as reference list, and we'll also get into adding and customizing a reference list. Custom columns functionality has been updated to automatically assign the data type to custom column based on the control type selected. So now it's just a little bit less to select when you're making your custom column. And only the creator of a plan, of the plan or a TransIT admin can customize columns. So, typically a client organization would have a couple or maybe, 2 to 4 TransIT admins. These are going to be the only people that can actually go in and customize the columns. That makes sure that all your, testers and all your users aren't going in and messing anything up there for you. So the tips and tricks, when you add or remove a column with a percentage driver, which is, your checkbox type column, which I'll show you in just a minute, you do need to make sure that you recalculate your progress so that your status column or your percentage column is showing the correct percentage complete. And then remember when you're exporting to Excel to switch to page size all, and I will show you that as well because that's a significant upgrade. Changing some of the UI, so we'll get back to this in a second, but it's basically, I'll show you the new and improved look to TransIT.
Sorry, hang on, Bri. So for this one in particular, this was our announcement that we are happy to announce that later this fall, TransIT 7 is coming. So Bri can show you a little preview of it, but This is not going live now. This is later on this fall.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Patty said, this fall, you'll get to see a little sneak peek here in a few minutes of the new look, which this new look also streamlines into better support for mobile, which, is becoming more and more common for test rounds, and, adding or editing tasks as well. And then this is a very nice upgrade, the clipboard cut and paste to replace the Excel file upload. So I will get into, let me just exit from here. Okay. So if we head into going back to reviewing the global content improvements, before, if you're inside a scenario, you would be able to insert task above, which obviously you can still do. And let me see here, order, comma, enter. If you wanted to pull something in from global or view global content when you're inserting into a scenario, this used to be the best way to do it. It's still a decent way, especially if you know your way around TransIT. But as you can see here, it's a little tougher to kind of view what exactly is inside each of these tasks or workflows. So now, if we go into workflows, and we do global, and we do order, comma, enter. Now it's much easier to sort through. You have a full screen view, obviously. So not only can you hover and then go through your task or workflow to see if it's the one that you want, but obviously you can click on it, enter into the workflow, view the details that are there. If this is the one that you want, then obviously you can, verify here and pull it into your organization. So next I will go back into here. And these are some updates that for, getting ready for a test round are a huge upgrade, right? So here you can see your script highlights, which is typically what you would do on day 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 of testing and so on. Now we have rich text formatting, so you can bold your position and then, put in the workflow after. It just really is a lot cleaner look than the older version, so you can underline or whatever you like in here, just to make it a little more clear to whoever's building the script, or even just, when you're expecting your team to head in and add whatever the testing round is into your script highlights, that it just makes it easier for everybody to follow along and see exactly what needs to be done workflow by workflow. And you can also do that for your script objectives. So whatever the objective is, you just, it just makes it much more clear by, bolding, important highlights and then adding in the detail below. Let me pull up a workflow again. We touched on the vendor product application and function. So if I pull up any of these workflows, you'll see very clearly here, rather than the dash in between, the vendor product application and function, now we have the equals and greater than symbol, just to help make it a little bit more clear and differentiate it a bit more. The day 0 that we touched on, let me just head into a testing round. We'll go in here. And so here you can see day 0. This used to be blank. Not only there, but from the drop down, you would have a blank here, but you would have day 1, 2, 3, and so on. So now, when we click our filter, we can actually filter day 0, and you know what you're selecting rather than just a blank space. This makes it very clear to especially newer users that this is a way that you can view your day 0 steps. Okay, next. So we'll head into plans. So plans, as I mentioned, has had very significant upgrades. Now, when you right click rather columns and then custom columns and a bunch of options there, you can just go straight to the customize columns menu. And this is where I mentioned you can actually have the ability to inline edit. For most columns, you can hide columns straight from your inline menu rather than actually opening the the different custom column. You can still open if you'd like to and do it the old way. But if you're just heading in quickly and trying to customize something quickly, this is a good way to do it here. What do we have here? Okay, so if we go back over here, we have the ability to actually upgrade your reference list from here. So you can see in this reference list, I double clicked and clicked the drop down, and this is going to allow me to select my phase 1, 2, or if we wanted to add a third phase, then we can right click on the column header and then head over to either add new value or manage drop down values. And this allows me to add in, oops, another entry into our reference list there. You can actually, if you know what reference list you want and you want to actually customize that reference list. I won't show it today, but if you contact anyone from Make Solutions or our help desk, then we can actually help you. We can help you set that up, and I'll just show a very quick. So. Do we have a reference list? Oh, here we go. So we can actually customize your reference list from a reference group. And so you can see here, these are all custom. But if you find, you want a yes, no, or a facility issue priority, whatever you like vendor from this list, if you're not finding what you want, then just contact us and we can show you how to set up a custom reference list. And again, only the plan, the creator of the plan or the TransIT admin can customize those columns. We'll head back into the plan here. I'm sure most of you have seen these driver columns, right, which are checkbox columns, and they drive this percentage complete right here. If you're either adding in new columns or you're changing a bunch of columns and you're not seeing the update here, then you would just go to right click, modify, and then recalculate your progress. And that's going to recalculate all the numbers down here. Again, I mean, for example, if you have this as a template for all of your data validation. You might not need some of these columns, or you might decide halfway through that you're going to want to hide some. If you do hide those columns, then that's a nice, easy way to recalculate this percentage. Okay, and this here, if you can see down here, it's 109 lines. So if you're looking to export to Excel, then right now it's only the first 100 lines. As you can tell, there's 2 pages here, right? So one has 100 lines, one has 9 lines. So if you're wanting to export to Excel, first you want to click Page Size All. And once you click Page Size All, you can see now all 109 of my activities are displaying here, and we can export to Excel. One thing to note is it is the updated Excel file, the XLSX file. We would open that. And you can see here that there is all 109 lines. Another little trick for exporting to Excel, we have our
Hey,
users
Bri,
here.
can
Yep.
we, on that one that you just did,
Mhm.
we've got a lot of clients doing the plans now, and somebody had asked about how to pre-select some of those boxes because they tried to
Okay.
upload with the tick marks. And so
Mhm.
if you want a tick mark to show when you upload a plan, you need to change it to a 1 instead of the tick mark, and then it will upload. Sorry, I'll go back on mute.
No, that's a very crucial point. Thank you, Patty. Enable editing, obviously. But there, for example, Northern Light has recently done a bunch of preload, and this is a godsend for them. So they've been using this to, get that back into TransIT. So we would just save this file here, and we would go back over here, right click on the header. Hang on. We don't want to paste from clipboard. Sorry, I may have messed that
Oh,
one
because
up.
it's no, they're doing it for brand new rows, so those weren't brand new rows, so you would just end up duplicating the rows. But
Oh, gotcha.
when they have new rows to add, it wouldn't be that whole spreadsheet. They start with the header, but the ones that they want to pre-complete, they're putting a 1 instead of the check mark so that it'll pre-complete those. And then that's where they're going in and highlighting those rows and doing the recalculate. But that's how you would do it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that, Patty.
Yep.
So the other quick thing, if you go into users and you're wanting to add a new note again, this is
Hey,
just
Bryce, sorry, I think you're going to show that in the TransIT 7.
Oh, in the TransIT 7. Okay.
Yep.
My apologies. Okay. So coming up on the TransIT 7, this is something that Patty was very excited to show everybody, but I'm the lucky guy that gets to do it. So sorry about that, Patty. This is the new TransIT 7 look. As you can tell, very nice, very clean from the older login. And if we head to MSI, a couple different things that will show you some new looks on. So if you're creating a new plan, which I know many of you have, this is the new updated look. As well as if you're, the plan owner and you're wanting to make sure, as a project manager, people aren't going in and, messing up anything that you've added. Now you just click plan security and those options populate from there, which is nice.
So that is a form in TransIT, and it's the forms that are the big change. So excuse me, it's a new architecture behind it. And by having those new forms and not the old forms, it's going to make transit overall much quicker.
Yeah. Which again translates to the mobile use of transit. So here is where I was going to show you the other example. So if I export this to Excel, I open up and I, want to make sure that I have a, new note on a new user. And I save from here. Again, you would most likely be doing multiple updates to make this worthwhile. Come back over here, right click the header, and then you import from Excel, choose the file, and import. And now you can see that the new note has been added here. So that's just a nice upgrade from the previous way that you would paste from clipboard. I think that is it. I did actually, I skipped over one thing, so I apologize for that. If you're wanting to cut and paste inside plans, that is inactivated unless you go to your user settings. So you click on your name in the top right corner. Then you would click here to plans to activate that or enable that ability, and then click save. And from there, you would be able to actually cut and paste with the Control-C, Control-V inside the plan, which is also a nice upgrade. So I believe that is it. If anybody has any questions, please let us know. And I mean, you're certainly able to ask some now if you have anybody that's on, or you can go to our support at makesolutionsinc.com. Does anybody have any?
About the last feature that Brian was demoing, clients were finding that they were using a plan and they were doing screenshots of something and they were doing cut and paste and thinking they were on their other monitor, but they were actually in the plan. And so people were finding they were getting additional rows added. So that's why we've turned off the ability to use the cut and paste functionality within a plan unless you're intentionally wanting to go turn it on, and then you'll turn it on and cut and paste whatever rows you want and turn it back off. So it's to avoid people accidentally inserting rows into their plan.
Yep, thank you for that. Anybody have any questions? Okay, so that will end this virtual user group, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.